The struggle of self-confidence in the digital age. If you struggle, if you are constantly comparing yourself to other people who you see on social media or on the internet, whatever, stop. There's no reason to compare yourself to anybody ever, and you shouldn't, because there's only one you. I know it's easy to get caught up in that. Believe me, I know it is. I'll share my story in a minute, but it is important that you keep focus on yourself and never, and I mean never, compare yourself or your life to somebody else. Because what's going to happen is you are basing that comparison on something that isn't totally real. And that's important to remember. And why would you want to compete with anybody else anyway? You should be only in competition with yourself to be a better version of yourself. I understand it happens. You know, people get sucked into it. I did. Not on purpose. I've never been a fan of social media. And this is why. Because most of the things that people only share, and they tend to embellish on their life, the thing that they want people to know. And you don't know. And does it really matter if it's true or not? No. Don't pay attention. Don't get sidetracked and don't get derailed by somebody else who's putting stuff out there that may or may not be true. And if it is true, good for them. And you should always be cheering for others. You should always want people to win and people to do well. But don't take it as it has nothing to do with you. And that's really hard to remember. I learned this the hard way. When I went to work on Wall Street, I was the settlement administrator for a public company. And I had 687 claimants who were victimized. They had been victimized and they were angry. And then somebody sent me some posts from a blog, the shareholders blog. And I'll tell you what, nobody is as ruthless as a shareholder, okay? It's a different animal. They are ruthless. Like, if they think you're messing with their stock certs, they're going to cut you. Verbally, they will abuse you. But anyway, they were blogging about me. I had no idea. I was too busy doing my job, and it was a lot of work, and I was working by myself. So I was kind of fed to the lions, if you will. And I went and read the blogs, and I could not believe the things that people were saying about me. And these people didn't even know me. These shareholders had never even spoken to me, didn't know anything about me, but they had me all over the world. I mean, I was in Vegas, I was here, I was there. I was like, no, I'm in Connecticut. Okay? But it cut me deep, and I felt so horrible. I was really down about it. I'm like, how can people say such horrible things about me? I'm trying so hard to do right for these people, and I'm getting, verbally attacked, and things are being written about me that aren't even remotely true. But then I realized something. I'll tell you a secret. If they are talking about you, it means you're doing something right. No joke. Once you take that mentality, and if people are like, trying to, bully you or whatever online, keyboard ninjas, that's what I call them, keyboard ninjas. Everybody's a badass behind a keyboard. Have you noticed that? But anyway, do not allow that to affect you as a person and who you are and who, what your goals and what, your self-esteem. Don't let somebody take that away from you because they're talking crap about you, because they don't even know, and they don't need to know. But they are unhappy with something in their life, and if you're doing the right thing and you're doing well, they're going to hate you. They're going to hate on you. It's a fact. It's just the way it is. Once I took that attitude, I just started kind of, I stopped reading it, number one, because it was unhealthy for me to keep reading it, because it made me so upset. But then I stopped being upset about it. I'm like, okay, these people are mad because they have to have, everybody has to have somebody to blame. It's just, if they're unhappy in life, they're going to blame somebody. And I was the scapegoat. I was the only face of the company, because on Wall Street, you have the puppet masters who nobody knows who they are, but they're calling all the shots, and they're the dirty ones, and they're the ones doing people wrong, but nobody knows who they are. They're the puppet masters. But they put somebody out there. Usually it's a CEO. I was the lucky candidate for that. I got dragged through the mud. But then I realized these people are unhappy with something else, and they need somebody to blame. And I'm trying to do the right thing, and they don't like it. They don't want, they are so miserable with their own life, they don't want to see anybody else do well. So don't take it personally, and don't compare yourself to anybody. You are the star of your show. Don't forget that. Be the star of your show and make it count. Do not allow other things and other, things that you see online, or people that you know or don't know, but you pay attention to them for some reason. Don't compare yourself to them, because you're not them. You're you. Don't take away from yourself trying to be something that you're not. It's really not healthy, and you are great the way you are. And sometimes you have to remind yourself of that. And if you are struggling with self-confidence, write out the things that are great about you. What makes you unique? What makes you special? Write it out on a piece of paper and read it back to yourself. But don't go comparing yourself to somebody else, or trying to be like somebody else, or being something that you're not, because you will never be happy that way. Never. So, take care and good luck.